Backed by popular demand again. Chris Nelson, is this episode 3 or 4? I think it could be 4. Is it?
This is 4, yes. I mean, this is living proof of the fact that you actually hate the people that tune into your podcast. 4
They like your
episodes of
stories.
me. Yeah, the 4 episodes of me is enough to drive someone to drink or jump off a bridge, either one.
We're going to start this show off a little bit differently because I know we're having fun the last few times and everything, but obviously we're going to start off by talking about the late great Terry Funk, and I know you've got experiences with the man that you'd like to share.
Oh, I got two that I'll share. I knew when I saw a picture of him a couple weeks ago that it wouldn't be long, but you never want to lose your heroes, you know. And I tell you what I was able to pick up. This is extra. Um, at an auction, there was a guy that had a letter that Terry Funk wrote in 1982. It was on his stationery from his house, and he used it on TV as part of an angle where basically he sent the letter out and he was telling everyone that he is the real world champion, the Ric Flair and everyone is a sissy, and that he's going to be taking bookings as the NWA world champion claimant. And it's signed and everything right there by him, and he used it on TV. I do believe it was in Texas, but I'm not 100% sure of it. But man, I snagged that thing, and it's like one of my favorite pieces in my collection, just because of the fact that it's Terry Funk, and it's something that he actually, as you're reading it, you can say, "Wow, that's actually Terry Funk writing this," and it was typed on a typewriter, so that's even better. But that's just a little sidebar there. But WCW, they were doing nighttime tapings, and they were at Universal Studios. There's one year we did Universal. I don't remember why, and they did it at night, and it was outside. So the first night of the tapings, we get there, and the first thing you do is, you look at the sheet to see who's going to get, murdered, and who's not going to get murdered. And I looked at the sheet, and it said Chris Nelson and Leroy Howard, who is a wrestler he's from Tampa. He was the Navy SEAL. Leroy was about 280, 6'3", black guy, 280, and was stiff as a board. I mean, when he hit you, you got hit. I mean, he was a legit Navy SEAL, like, badass dude. And he was a good friend of mine. And he passed away a few years ago, and, sorry to hear that. So this story's for him. But it was Leroy and myself against Terry Funk and Bunkhouse Buck with Colonel Parker. And I'm like, well, damn, that's awkward because Terry hasn't been here, you know, at all. He hasn't been here since, 3 years before or whatever. And come to find out, that was his first match back, his first match of his last WCW run in the stud stable, before he did the hardcore stuff and this and that. First match back. So he gets there, and I think it was something that just happened because they had to fly him in, and then something about he actually took a helicopter from the airport to Disney to get him here. Crazy story. But so we find Terry and we find Buck, and we go up to him, talk about our match. And Terry goes, he looks. Now remember, I'm about 5'11", about 235, and Leroy is about 6'4", 285. There's a big difference. So Terry looks at us both, looks me in the eye, and looks up to Leroy, and he goes, well, which one of you guys? I don't do a good Terry Funk, but he goes, which one of you guys knows how to take a body slam? kind of looked at Leroy, and he kind of looked at me, and we're thinking, well, we've been here for years. I think we both know how to take it, and we both just kind of raised our hand like that, body slam. We got this. So once again, he looks at Leroy, then he looks at me, and then he points at me. He says, "We're going to do this with you." And I'm thinking, of course, because he's 285 and I'm 235. And that's okay. I'm like, dude, let's do it. So it was very simple. They didn't call anything. So, anything crazy. He said, "I'm going to do a moonsault on you for the finish. Just lay there. I'll put you there. You'll be good." Yes, sir. No problem. I had taken standing moonsaults from Jimmy Del Rey. So I'm okay with the moonsault. I got it, especially if I got to lay there. So the match comes on, and we're in the ring. And here comes Terry Funk throwing garbage cans all the way down, Universal Studios, because they had them coming out of like a house. And then they walk down the stairs and to the ring, and he's throwing stuff and being Terry Funk, So they get in there, and he starts with Leroy, and Leroy, he hits him once, and I could tell he really knocked the shit out of him, because Terry looked, he got hit, and he went, and I could tell that was real. And then he hit him twice, and oh shit, it did it again. So right there, Terry just poked him in the eyes and cut him off and tagged in Buck. So Buck got in, and then I got tagged in, and Buck threw me in, and big boot he called, and I ran smack dab into the boot. I didn't put my hands up, nothing. Just boom, went back, took the bump. Then he tagged in Terry. And it was very simple, just a little bit of choking, punching, picked me up, slammed me, went up there, hit the moonsault, 1, 2, 3. And I'm thinking, boy, this is it. It's over. That was great. Everything went great. Then I hear, "Come here, you son of a bitch." And I'm like, oh, shit. And he picks me up, and he starts punching me and punching me again. And he gets a branding iron, and he starts branding me with the branding iron. And then I end up getting hog-tied in the back. He completely tied up my legs and my arms. So my fat ass literally is like a seal just rolling around there because I'm tied and I can't get out. He didn't talk about this back there. I would have prepared myself like I did when Jake Roberts tried to put the snake down my pants one time after giving me the DDT. I would have been prepared for something like this. But, yeah, I got hog-tied, and then he untied me and threw me outside the ring. And I'm glad he untied me before he threw me outside the ring. And then threw a couple more trash cans, and then he went back to the dressing room. And it was just, "Thank you very much. I appreciate." Was I stiff? And the nicest guy that you could ever imagine. I mean, just like, and it's like I'm freaking out because it's like I want to make sure that I did a good job for them. It's Jimmy Golden, it's fucking Terry Funk, it's Colonel Parker, and Jimmy Golden, Bunkhouse Buck, he says, "Kid, you really need to put your hand up there, man, on that big boot, man. You didn't put your hand up, and I just kicked you in the head." I said, "Well, I meant to do it like that. I'm trying to put you guys over." And he said, "Man, I do appreciate that, but it ain't worth, the damage it's going to cost you later in life." And that was 1994. And I wish I would have taken that advice and done something with it and maybe started putting my hand up, because here I am 30 years later. I got a shit memory. I have headaches. Like 7 or 8 of the things of CTE. I mean, not that I'm hoping that I have it, but there's no way I'm not going to have it. But, I'm experiencing a lot of that stuff. And it makes you think, man, I sure as hell wouldn't take back what I did. I'm not going to throw in the flag and say, can I please take all that back? Hell no, that's me. That's who I am. I worked my ass off to do all that stuff. I worked my ass off to be that person. So I'm not going to give it back. But I wish I could have done it smarter when you think about it, and you think about all the concussions and how many chair shots you took to the head and you didn't put your hands up. It was stupid. It was stupid. But, that was when hardcore was just coming in, 94, 95. It was a new thing. And on house shows, that's not a problem. I mean, the guy I used to do it with, his name was Chaos. Man, we were always safe. I mean, we even did a Taipei glove death match with real freaking glass on our knuckles because we knew we weren't going to hurt each other, but all that stuff, it takes its toll, and we didn't know anything about CTE, you know. Um, I would love to see Terry Funk's brain. I don't know if he donated it or not. He probably didn't. But I would love to see his brain and see if he's got it, just so other people can see, other wrestlers can see, all right, look, here's Terry Funk. Right? We all loved and idolized him, you know. Look at his brain. You see, he has CTE. See, he had dementia. That could be a lesson to the kids that are getting in the business now as to what not to do and what to do and what not to do. And you can't get more of a better example than Terry Funk, and I'm sure if Terry could tell the kids that are getting into wrestling today not to do the things that he did, he would probably tell them that, because number one, I mean, that was Terry Funk. I mean, you can imitate, but you'll never duplicate Terry Funk. He was the best, but these kids today are doing these crazy moves, and I'm seeing more and more videos of wrestlers landing on their heads and landing on their necks, and I'm not liking it, man. I mean, what's it going to take? I mean, does someone literally have to die in front of 20,000 people before they stop doing this shit? I mean, I don't know. I don't mean to spoil anyone's damn parade, you know what I'm saying? But, think about it. A move is cool. It really is, especially if you're the first person to ever do it. But is it really worth dying for? All that Chris Nelson, he had a great career for 3 years. And boy, I remember that finish he used to have, the fat flop. I mean, good job. And then you're dead. You know what I'm saying? Over a stupid fucking move that, if you're off by an eighth of an inch, you're dead or you're paralyzed, but you're still going to do it. I don't get that.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff is kind of going on in the lower leagues at the minute, and the kind of the hardcore wrestling. Like I seen a guy, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, jump up to the top of he was nearly on top of the gym roof, and he tried to land on the table. There was a guy on the table, and he missed the table.
I think I saw that one. I'm trying to think of the other one that I saw. Just one where, the guy went to do like went to jump and do a split leg moonsault in the corner, jump on the thing, and he completely fucked it up and landed on the back of his head. I don't know how he, I don't know how he walked away from that, but I don't know. My point on that whole thing was, I don't know if Terry donated his brain, but it would be very interesting to see what the findings would be, and it would be helpful to the next generation if they actually took it in and listened to it and said, okay, I'm going to pull it back a little bit because I want to have a job, but I don't want to be in a wheelchair at 50. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
it's a comment. Comment there from Acer. It's a good one. It's insane that Terry Funk and Mick Foley didn't die in those Japanese death match. Yeah.
No, I completely agree on that one. I mean, I watched that one just the other day. The one with Onita and exploding. The one it's outside in the middle of the day, and Cactus was there, and I mean, my God, I don't, I always got along great with Mick. He actually lent him a pair of boots one night because he they needed him to do something, and he didn't bring his gear. I think it was in Orlando, and he asked me if I had some boots, and I didn't bring my gear either because I wasn't on that night, and I ended up having a pair in my truck and brought them into him. But great guy. I would take my teeth out when I wrestled in WCW, and he would always say, "Oh, you should wrestle as my illegitimate stepson or something," And so I mean, we would always laugh about the fact that neither one of us had front teeth. You know, bang bang, but nice guy. I hate seeing the way he is now. He's not. He's
He's
not
pretty
in
broke
good.
up, isn't he?
Yeah, it's. I'm not in good shape, and I didn't do a tenth of what he did.
Yeah.
Especially with the elbow off the rope, onto the concrete and everything. I did a little bit of that stupid crap, but not like he did. It hurt, and I had enough of hurting. It's like I'm already inflicting pain on myself. I'm not going to inflict any more. You know, but I love them both. I mean, Mick, I have a bunch of pictures of him, the two of us together and everything. Different pictures from his career in my man cave here. So I mean, there's definitely, I love him. You know what? I got quite a bit of me and Terry Funk too, including a picture of us together. So, they both get equal amounts of love in my man cave. Good question.
Yeah.
Well, good comment. It wasn't a question. It was a good comment. That was right.
Did you see AEW, the show in Wembley? Not even the show, but did you see the kind of spectacle? Fair play to them. They deserve a lot of credit for getting 81,000 people into that.
I saw. I haven't watched any of the clips yet. I was planning on doing that today, and then somebody asked me to be on a podcast. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that tonight probably. But I did see a couple little quick snippets of it. It looks like they had a great house. I heard that CM Punk got in a fight with Jungle Boy. I think that's funny. I'd like to throw that little twat through a window myself. I mean, I can only, just for, the answers that he gave over there in England when they went over there, and, people are paying money to meet him, and he's just completely, shit talking wrestling and shit talking everything, and just he's an ungrateful little punk. And you know what I mean? You just, if you're being paid to be somewhere with people that actually think you're good, and they're paying money to talk to you and paying money to hear your story, don't sit there and act like you'd rather be in Minnesota watching fucking reruns of Matlock. You're a little twat. You're a whiny little bitch, and I hope to see him Punk whoop your ass. Fuck you.
Apparently he did, but the story. I totally agree with you, but the full story goes that apparently Punk flew in on Saturday morning, and AEW had no trans from the airport for him, and he had to find his own way from the airport, which is not a big deal in London, but that's not the point. Like, even you guys were always looked after by WWE, for example, back in the day. Like, something like that wouldn't have happened to you guys back then.
No, especially in a foreign country. That's the thing. Being in a foreign country, they should have had the extra measures done to where he's picked up from the airport. This is the first time hearing any of this, so I'm enjoying it. But yeah, especially out of the country, they should have had that arranged.
Yeah. Now, you can take everything with a pinch of salt, but somebody did put up a picture on Twitter sometime Saturday with CM Punk on the train, and apparently some guys had to give him directions to where he was going to his hotel, allegedly.
Wow. Allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly. What else did you hear?
Well, I heard what you heard about the backstage fights, and the guy. This was over a glass segment, so there was supposed to be a glass segment on AEW a few weeks back, and
Yeah,
the
and
Jungle Boy wanted to use real glass. Punk said, "Oh, we used the fake glass," and so he was in a match prior to CM Punk, and he said something along the lines of "real glass, bitch" into the camera. So as he was walking back, Punk was getting ready to walk out, and that's when a supposed physical altercation happened, which ended up with Jungle Boy being choked out.
he's listen. I'm 48 years old. Okay,
Mhm.
I have a horrible back. I have 2 surgically repaired shoulders. I need a new left knee. I'm overweight. I'm out of shape. I'm a fat fuck. But I could beat Jungle Boy's ass within 25 seconds. For a shoot, for a real fight, give me 30 days and I'll be a fucking killer and I will throw him through every window I can find just for being a twat. And no, I'm not trying to fucking, you know, get clout or whatever they call it off Jungle Boy. I really think he's a twat. And it was confirmed when I heard the reports from London.
Mhm.
You don't treat people like that. People that are paying money to see you and talk to you and ask you questions. You immature fuck. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
You have
so
a hell of a position, but you know what? I did more in this business than you're ever going to do with the attitude that you have. So fuck you.
yeah, so where it gets interesting is AEW are running another pay-per-view on Sunday, All Out in Chicago, obviously Punk's hometown, and now allegedly he and
Are
Jungle
they
Boy
suspended?
supposedly. You know what I'm thinking, like the wrestling business. I don't know.
Maybe. Hey, how about this? Maybe Jungle Boy was paid to do this. Maybe this is like a sabotage from his buddies. They're like, hey, it's time for you to take the hit. Go up there and we want to get Punk suspended so he's not on the pay-per-view in his hometown. That'll be fucking great. Let's do it. Think about it. It could have happened.
Would it come into your thinking that any of this is a work?
No, I don't think it's a work
No.
because I don't I
Okay.
don't I don't think they would I don't think CM Punk wants anything to do with any of them, so I don't think that he would even entertain the thought of doing any kind of work. I could be wrong.
Hmm. Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. But then, just in the business, though, you just never, ever,
You
ever
never
quite
know.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and here's the thing: they're always looking for something new. They're always looking for a way to swerve everybody. And that's because everything's been done already 10,000 times. So they're always looking for something new. So I don't blame them. You can't blame them.
Mm.
They're going to try what they're going to try, but the thing is they expose so much of the business, that it's hard to work people anymore because now they're smart and they know everything. So you have to keep doing this real life bullshit because you expose the business.
Grandma Daisy, that's a great YouTube name. New subscriber, hello.
Hello, Grandma Daisy.
Do you know what the coolest thing I seen on that show was? Like Chris Jericho with his band singing himself to the ring in front of Wembley Stadium, 80,000 people. Like bands just don't get to do that.
All
And
right,
then wrestling
so
as well.
I didn't know that he sang himself to the ring.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not really a fan of his music,
Yeah,
but that's really cool. You know what I'm saying? That's
yeah.
really cool. I mark out for that, because I'm a failed drummer. So I mean, I mark out for that. But you know, that's pretty cool. I don't really like that. I don't really like the song. I mean, it's okay, but that's badass. 81,000 whatever people, and you get to sing yourself to the ring along with people. That's pretty damn cool, man. It's did I hear that this was the highest grossing show of all time?
Not highest grossing. It was the highest, they said, paid ticketed show of all time.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. That makes
So I
sense.
don't know. There's some gray areas there. Obviously, there was 81,000 paid people there,
Yeah,
plus the corporate, which they didn't include in the figure, which is cool as well.
yeah, yeah. I got a friend of mine. Well, AJ Janazo went over there. I saw he was over there for the show and to visit some English friends. He does a lot with British food now, and that people from England send him a bunch of crap to America so that he can try it. And now he's on his way over. Well, he's in England now, staying with those people. That's a pretty cool deal right there. I've been watching him do it the whole time, and it's pretty. You can gain a lot of good, You meet a lot of good people on social media. You also meet a lot of idiots. Um, More idiots than normal people or normal good people, I would say. But just a rant. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. While we're on the subject of music, and then we'll switch back again. Sting walked out to Seek and Destroy, which was nice.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So Tony's paying the big bucks for these songs. And Paige Saraya, she came out to We Will Rock You by Queen.
Well, see, all right, well, yeah. So Brian May got a good little payoff right there, and oh my God, I can't believe what'd you say he used? What did he come out to?
For Sting?
Yeah.
Seek and Destroy by Metallica.
Yeah, dude, Metallica. That's what I was trying to say. I got myself confused. Metallica is going to make that money, and Metallica, they want that high money. Remember, they sued Napster, so Metallica, they don't play around. So I can only imagine how much it costs to use that. To use that song. I would love to know what Tony paid for that, because I'm sure it wasn't cheap.
I'd say hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Absolutely. I mean, dude, they did a spot last season on the show Billions, which is a really good show. The last season's coming up pretty soon. Metallica was on there, and they were pretty much, the whole episode was about getting drunk and going to a Metallica concert. So I mean, that was, and it was good. And it's like Metallica's mainstream. I mean, Metallica's the real deal. I love Metallica. Loudest concert I've ever been to. I've been rocking to Metallica since 1987, wearing the Levi's jean jacket with the Metallica patch on the back, with all the graveyards for Master of Puppets. Come on now, little gravestones. Yeah.
I was looking through your match database, and I was trying to pick out guys that we haven't talked about yet. So one guy I'm going to throw at you now, Kamala.
All right. So I love Kamala. I worked with him 4 or 5 times, and it was always great. So light as a feather. So he was going to be at an independent show that I was on. So I actually picked him up from the airport and, took him around and everything. And I always reintroduced myself, and he gave me his email address, because this was years ago. So I remember sending him an email, and we had gone back and forth, a couple of emails here and there. And then all of a sudden, on a Saturday morning, I got an email stating, it was from Kamala's email address that he gave me, that him and his wife and kids were stranded on an island somewhere, and that their passports were taken. They don't have any cash. They're at a hotel that they can't pay for. Can I please wire them $2,000?
Right.
So like I said, I don't know if he got hacked. I don't know. I know he wasn't too, I think, computer savvy. I don't think he was, but I don't know what happened. I mean, I haven't thought about that in years. Just used to saying Kamala jarred my memory. I'm like, that's the weirdest email I ever got in my entire lifetime, was because of Kamala. But great guy. always easy to work with, always fun. Um, just a good old redneck dude, a good old redneck dude from Mississippi. I mean, he's just a cool dude. Um, I would have loved to chill with him a little bit longer. Nice guy.
Did you reply to the email?
No, I didn't. I didn't reply to the email at all because I was like listening to my mom in the back of my head saying, "Son, just got to know when to walk away." You know, and for once I listened and I said, "You're right, Mom. I hear you. I'm just gonna walk away from this one." And I didn't walk. I kind of moonwalked out of it. I just didn't want to get anywhere near that. I don't know what it was, how it was. I don't know anything. I don't want to cast aspersions upon anybody. But I'm just telling you what happened.
Yeah.
That's all I can do.
Did you ever see him after that exchange?
No.
Or hacking?
No.
Okay.
Never saw him again. That was about I think he had already lost a leg. He had already lost one leg at the time we were talking back and forth. And I know he did get some help from Wrestler Rescue because we had talked about that. I don't think it was a lot. And he had mentioned something about Cauliflower Alley that he wanted to get with them or something. And I said, yeah, they'll definitely do something for you. I don't know if he ever did because they will, Cauliflower Alley, they will take care they'll do as best they can to help out wrestlers. And especially now with Brian Blair in there, good people up there. I'd love to be at Cauliflower Alley. It's actually going on right now this weekend. But I have too many things going on. Or it was last weekend or whatever it was. It was last weekend because Bob Cook was on the way there. So I talked with him. We talked about Terry and talked to him for about half an hour. And, that was rough on Bob.
Yeah.
Him and Terry were, him and Terry were friends and had been friends since like 1986, 87. And, he idolized the man almost as much. I don't know if Terry Funk or Evel Knievel, who is the bigger, in Bob's life, but it's one of the two. And, they're both gone now. So I definitely felt for Bob.
There's somebody at the door looking to talk to you. There's somebody that's just at the door now. So I'm going to remove myself, put this person in. This person hasn't seen you in quite a while. So I'm going to enjoy this exchange.
All right.
Ass.
Oh, it's me.
What the fuck are you been doing? This is Bobby telling you, get your ass off the chair. Seriously. All you do is interviews. You know what I just did? I did a workout. I'm working out hard and fast. And you're sitting here talking your shit. You know what? You live in Florida. You know what's the problem? You should be running from the rain and the hurricane instead of sitting here on your fat ass talking to him. You got it?
I'm sorry.
I'll see you later.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. I told you a long time ago, get your ass in shape. Did you do it? Okay, well, I'll see you later there.
I'm sorry.
Oh! I'm out. Yeah, see you later.
Did you love that?
Okay. First of all, I thought that was an old rat that I used to fuck and that she was coming for me for some kind of charge or something. I thought you done set me up with a pissed off rat from 1995. But then I read Karen in the thing, and then I'm like, and then she's like, it's nothing. There we go. Well, when you mentioned that somebody wanted to talk to me, I thought you were going to throw me a softball, like it would be like an emotional thing, like you connected with someone I haven't talked to in 20 years, someone to help me get started. Or I thought it was going to be maybe Randy Hogan, You know, you kept me wondering, and you completely swerved me. I mean, I don't even know how I fell for that, and you did. You completely swerved me. I mean, holy shit! Did you have to pay her to do it? Because
no. She was happy to do it.
Oh my God! Yeah, well, that was her best moment on TV. She should be happy to do it, Muffy. Let me tell you something. Next time, I'm going to charge you double. Next time you stand by me, damn it. 3-time world champion. Who'd you ever beat, Muffy? Who'd you beat? I was just kidding.
I don't know.
Oh, no, I was just joking. You did set me up. Bullshit. And I just had a damn good promo going, too. And there she's been listening the whole time. She's going to kick the shit out of me.
It's great to see you.
It's good seeing you. How you doing?
I'm out. I'm going to the gym. You're not.
No, I'm not. I'm not. But I will tell you that is my favorite. I mean, that was my favorite. It was amazing. It was fun. You know, it was a joke, but I made $500.
So sorry.
I made $500 off of it, and I didn't have to wrestle, and it was a good night.
Well, there's nothing good about telling somebody that they're fat, lazy, and ugly. That was just what it is. But you look great. I'm so excited that he told me to come on. I'm very happy. You look amazing. Well, not really, but no, you look amazing. I'm kidding.
I look amazing. Yeah, I look amazing if you're talking about elephants. I mean,
Anyways, I wish the best. I got to go, but thank you for having me on. And I hope we do this again. Something fun. I don't care.
Yeah,
let's do it. Thank you. That was a blast.
Thanks,
and if I'm in Florida, I'm going to come find you.
Come find me. Damn it. Do it. Do it. Yeah.
Okay. You're the best. Thanks, you guys. Have a good talk.
Cheers. Right. Thanks. Someone said, I thought you wanted child support, someone said.
Oh, that's even, listen, I'm telling you, before I saw the name, all I saw was this, and it immediately took me 30 years back, because I've seen that look before more than 10 times. I know what that look means, and woo!
I'm guessing that you haven't seen her since that moment.
No, nothing.
Excellent.
I think I actually sent her. Yes, I did. About 2 years ago, I saw the clip on YouTube, and I sent her an email and just said, hey, I'm the fat fuck from the video. Just wanted to thank you and see how you're doing. And she sent me a nice email, in response, and she was very sweet. I mean, like I said, it was fun. And I think it's funny that, some people thought I was like legitimately like upset or something. And no, listen, in this business, you have to have thick skin.
Yeah.
And let me tell you what, I grew up in this business around Jimmy Del Rey and the Cuban Assassin and, guys that are old school. So,
And she was only being paid what she was told to do.
Exactly. You do what you're told to do. But they, when you come up like that, you don't get your feelings hurt. You know what I'm saying? It's, the only feelings you can, I don't even think I had feelings for probably 15 years. I mean, seriously, it just, I don't know. It was probably the combination of being on the road, having a crazy personal life when I'm home, and then mixing in drugs and alcohol here and there. So, you can't blame wrestling totally, and you can't blame yourself totally, but you can blame everything together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's all there's little pieces of everything that leads to the end result, unfortunately.
Acers is just saying priceless moment. Yeah. Been working on that one for a while. She was actually supposed to be on. Remember we were on last time and I said, I might have a special guest for you. She didn't appear.
I
She got
really
the times
thought,
wrong.
I really thought that it was going to be like a tear jerking moment, and you just, it was a tear jerking moment, laughter tears instead of, sad tears or happy. That was great. That was great.
We'll make a nice clip out of that.
Please do. And I'll be sitting down with my wife at dinner, at like 6:30, and I'll say, "Hey, let me tell you what just happened," right? And I'll tell her what just happened, and I'll be animated like I am now, and I'll tell my son, we're all sitting down at dinner, and my wife will just look at me and, am I supposed to know these people? Like, she doesn't give zero shits about anything to do with wrestling. It's like, my favorite thing, because she actually dated a guy one time that had to watch Monday Night Raw. I mean, that was like his thing.
Yeah.
And she used to get so annoyed. So anytime that me and her will get in a fight, I'll say, well, you know what? I was the guy that he was watching on TV while I was fucking you on Monday Night Raw. Who'd you ever beat, damn it?
Oh, Christ. What a thing to say.
Well, after 20 years, you got to come up with new and adventurous things because, they've already heard. I mean, once you've had a, steak knife thrown at your head, I mean, the rules are out the window. Oh, that wasn't my current wife, by the way.
Yeah.
I've been married twice, and that wasn't my first wife either. It was actually some skank I lived with in a mobile home, but that's a, story for another time.
Let's talk about...
there's minor elements of truth in there, just minor.
Did you ever have any interactions with Shawn Michaels over the years?
Minimal, very minimal. When I first started with WWF, I actually made my way into a locker room. I think we were in Lowell, Massachusetts or something. I don't know. But I made my way into a locker room, and I didn't realize this was like the Star locker room.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm literally sitting here getting ready, and I got Shawn Michaels on my left and Diesel on my right. And Diesel's the world champ at this time, and I'm the only jobber in here. But I said, you know what? God damn it. I've heard these stories about these motherfuckers making jobbers dressed in the fucking, broom closet as ribs. I'm not going to do that shit. I'm here to do a job. I'm not here to be fucking, fucked with. Right? So that's what I'm thinking. So I'm sitting there lacing my boots, and they were both very nice and very cordial and never said anything, hey, what the fuck are you doing here, jobber? And nothing. They were absolutely fine. So that myth was dispelled really quick. It was obviously whoever started that rumor had obviously pissed off one of the two of them or something and had done something fucking stupid. So they decided to fuck with him in return for him being an idiot.
Yeah.
And then he got upset and, started burying people, on the internet. That's probably what happened. So anyways, Shawn he traveled a lot with Jimmy Del Rey, or Jimmy traveled with him at the time that I was up there. So we would either be in the car, we'd be in the car together, but we'd also be in like cars behind them as well. And they'd be in like a front car. It was like a presidential motorcade, but with only two cars. So, that's pretty good. Like a presidential motorcade, but with only two cars.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't funny.
I don't know what a motorcade is. Maybe we're lost in translation.
If you were in America, if you were American, you would have laughed your ass off. That's why I was waiting.
Okay.
Like that was a funny, like Donald Trump has like literally 30 vehicles, and he's somewhere in the middle of this 30 vehicles. So
I know what you mean now. Yeah.
That's his motorcade. So I said, yeah, it's like a motorcade, but with only two vehicles. It was just us and Shawn, Like I was like a motorcade, like WWF, Lost in Translation, great movie, by the way. I just thought it wasn't funny, so I apologize.
No, it's funny now that I know what it is.
No, Sean was great to me. Like I said, I didn't have any problem with Sean, and I didn't see him abuse anyone, or talk shit to anyone, or disrespect anyone the whole time I was up there. The only thing that I saw him do that was crazy was at the WWF and Marty Jannetty's trial when he walked by and gave us all the finger with Gorilla Monsoon there and everybody. That was the only thing that he had ever done, and that was before I really knew him, So I have no problem with Sean at all. I'm glad he's doing good, because I don't care whatever you say about him, good, bad, or indifferent. The man worked his ass off, and he gave you 100% every night. And you know what? Guys are recovering addict, and I am too. And I know what that feels like. So, all you can do is say you're sorry to the people that you've hurt, and all you can do is move on. I mean, I had to do it, and some people moved on with me and some people didn't. It's just the way it is. But I'm sure there are a lot of people that could tell you I was, a jerk or an asshole or whatever. But when I was using, and again, and I know Sean's in the same boat, we didn't set out to become addicts and to become alcoholics. And I don't blame anybody except myself. I'm the reason that I was an addict, not anybody else. It was me.
Yeah. And a lot of it I talk to guys about this. A lot of it comes down to lifestyle, being on the road all the time. It's kind of like guys in bands, back around that era as well, fell into the same kind of problems,
Oh, absolutely. I mean, hey, when you're a superstar, like Shawn Michaels, or you're an opening match guy, curtain jerker like me. I mean, we got to play. We all got to play. The referees got to play. The agents got to play. We all got to play. So it was a hell of a lifestyle. And, when you walk out and there are 300 women standing there, and the big guys can't do them all. That as long as you time it to where if you walk out dead last, you can literally just say, well, everyone else is gone. So it used to work because they would know that you're going to party at the same place where everyone else is. So they would just go with you. You know what I mean? And they'd end up at the party. They knew the deal. We knew the deal. We're not stupid. I mean, damn. Sorry, got off on another one.
What's the wildest party you were ever at? After party?
Oh, it would have to be one of many nights at the Dungeon in Atlanta. I mean, I don't remember. Well, I shouldn't tell a damn story, but God damn it, it is what it is. So we were staying at the Dungeon, which was the Ramada in downtown Atlanta. That was our hotel. All the boys stayed there, WCW, WWF. Every once in a while, we would all be there together. So one of the many nights I was drunk and we were closing the place down, I left the bar and I went to the elevator and I look over to my left and I see Rip Rogers with an African-American woman until she turns her head and I realize it's an African-American man.
Okay.
I'm not judging. I'm saying I was, he's wearing a dress and high heels and a wig. So I just kind of looked. I didn't say anything. I just kind of acknowledged and shook my head at, hi, how you doing? And as he was getting in the other elevator, he said to me, all lips are the same when the lights are out.
Right.
Sorry, Rip. I love that story. I mean, I wasn't going to tell it, but I'm emotionally fragile now because Maurice is completely just, bumfuzzled me. But yeah, that was, and I've used that line many a night afterwards when talking about either large or, oversized rats or, it can be used for many, many different things.
Oh, who's that at the door? It's Rip Rogers just about to come in. No, not really.
I'm just going to go hang myself now. I mean, damn.
Imagine.
Got that on speed dial. Holy shit.
No. Holy shit moment is just what.
Great guy though. I mean, yeah, you want to talk about a guy that I love is Rip Rogers, because the motherfucker would just say what's on his mind. I grew up loving him in Florida in 1985. Him and Brenda Britton, who I'm sure was his old lady. I don't know, the dynamics of their relationship, but everyone called her Fleabag. And, he was Hustler Rip Rogers. And let me tell you what, he had so much heat in Florida, and so did she. I mean, so much heat. People were so pissed off at the two of them. They were fucking awesome. They were the best. I learned so much by going back and watching tapes of Rip Rogers, and also watching him in like 94, 95 WCW, because he was doing jobs between WWF and WCW. And we would be on a lot of the same shows for WWF and a lot of the same ones for WCW. So I would see him all over the place. And I always watched him because he's batshit crazy. His character is batshit crazy, but he's so fucking good that, if you don't learn something watching him, then you're a moron. The guy's amazing. So I grew up watching him and loving him as a child, and, still love him as an adult. I think he's fucking amazing. And I actually got to work, a bunch of shows with him and learned from him watching him live again 20 years later. So pretty cool to me.
Yeah, excellent. Look, we're kind of coming up to the end of another very, I think, pretty random show. So I think we're going to have to do this again. And maybe I'll get you another guest now next time, but maybe the element of surprise that you don't know who's coming on might work better. What do you think?
Well, I go with the element of surprise, because you sure got me tonight. I'll tell you that. You got me on that one. Yeah, let's do a part 5, man. I'm down for it.
Yeah.
This is a lot cheaper than going to therapy.
And people that are watching, your good friend Vito DiNucci, his interview will be out on Thursday. Keep an eye on the news for that one as well. There'll be an article maybe or two coming from that one. It's a very, very, very good interview. And we'll probably get you two guys on together at some point as well. That wouldn't be so surprising, though.
No, that would be good. And we have a lot of stories to tell. I mean, listen, the thing about Vito DiNucci and myself, like, we made a great team. He was 6'4", 275, ripped and shredded. And I was, 210, fat, 5'10", wasn't, whatever. But once again, I had the beauty and he had the brains. I mean, that's what it was. That's what made our, that was really a joke. He did all our booking, and he was, he negotiated all of our stuff. Boy, he was fierce.
I get the impression from talking to him that he might remember more from the crazy nights than you, because I think he was a little bit more of a good boy, so to speak.
We've switched roles now when we go out. I'm usually now the babysitter whenever him and our brother Spanky Malone go out. I'm usually the babysitter, and it's pretty fucked up. But I really can't say anything because I did it every night for 10 years. So I mean, it's like I kind of owe them. You know what I'm saying?
Are you the driver?
Yeah. So me being the sober driver, hey, anything I can do, I'm glad to pay back. It is what it is.
Yeah. Thanks for tonight, man, and thanks to Muffy for making a special guest appearance. I'm going to clip that together and I'll send it over to you because I think you get a good laugh out of that.
Please do. I got to see it.
Awesome, man. Thanks
Have
a million.
fun. All right. We'll talk to you later.